Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Thursday to you and yours. Yes, thank you for being here with us. I hope that you are having a wonderful start to your day, and indeed, I hope that you are well. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time, and excited for this story today. Always one that just really warms your heart and really makes you think. MERIN and Her Very Bright Star, coming to us from Lori Mier and illustrations by Ethan ROFFLER. And so proud of this one. It is such a beautiful book, and I cannot wait to share this one. Thank you so much for joining in, and welcome. Please get comfortable, get cozy, get all that you need to make this story time even better. Just look at those colors on that book. I just love it so much. Cannot wait to share. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And of course, if you know it, well, we're bringing it back here to Story Time. And if you're introducing this to you first time, well, you're in for a treat. Thank you so much for joining us on Story Time. And please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you, ready to enjoy this wonderful story. Thank you so much for being here. If you're out here in the Bay Area, please, especially around the Auckland area, please be sure to be a sweater with you. I know that it gets warmer later in the day, but it definitely has been cooler in the morning. So be sure to just carry that jacket, especially if you're going to be doing anything outdoors. Just be sure to carry that jacket so you can stay warm. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for being here with us on Story Time. If you're elsewhere, please do check your weather and see what you need as you go out. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Happy to be here. Happy Thursday. And another story awaits, another powerful story, another beautiful story from a very good friend here at Story Time, Lori Mier. We love you so much. And of course, Lori has been here to Story Time. And if you'd like to hear more of her story, and of course, the story behind MERIN and A Very Bright Star, a story of resiliency, please do check out in our archives Lori Mier's visit here to Storytime. Powerful conversation that we had, and indeed you get to learn a lot more about the book. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. I am so glad that we're here together. And yes, we've had some amazing books this week so far. It's a short week. We've only had 4 days in it, or we only have four days of Storytime in it, but we've brought some powerful books to share. And of course, we kicked off the week with Things to Do, and then we moved into Invisible Things yesterday. Yes, Invisible Things I thought was so powerful, especially as a social emotional learning book, just making us think, connecting us to the inside, and really looking in our communities, really looking in ourselves as well, so we can find all those different feelings that we feel and learn to process them, learn to go through them, right? And some feelings are big and some are tiny, some come all at once, sometimes it's one at a time. So however you're going through, we're with you, and definitely hope that you are managing to process whatever that you're going through in whatever way that is right for you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I'm glad that we're here. And then of course today we have MERIN and A Very Bright Star, and then on Friday we round off tomorrow with an odd to a bad day. Yes, so that will be coming up tomorrow. please join us for that one as well. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Where are you joining us from? And if you're here live, well, thank you so much for being here with us. We send you love. And of course, if you're joining us later on for the recordings, well, thank you so much for joining in. And if ever times don't line up and you'd like to join in Storytime and you miss the live, well, remember, you can always catch Storytime at storytimewithmrlamada.com, at Storytime with Mr. Lamada on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, why not follow us at Storytime with Mr. Lamada on Instagram and get to see all things Storytime, all things coming up. And of course, you can always check our Facebook schedule to see what's coming to Storytime. So thank you so much for being here with us, and I am excited. Please get ready, get cozy, get comfortable, go grab what you need to make this Storytime even better. We will be right back after this short break. Thank you so much for being here with us, friends. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you on the other side of this very short break.
Hello, I'm Olalu Ogunyemi, officer in the United States Marine Corps and author of Crow from the Shadow. You are tuned in with my brother on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. Enjoy, and God bless.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you so much. Olaolu Ogunyemi, Crow from the Shadow, Horace the Horsefly, Billy Dipper's Time to Shine, all those amazing books coming to us from Olaolu. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. And yes, have a wonderful day. Have a beautiful day indeed. But before you go away anywhere else, well, we do have a book to read together. And this one is called MERIN and Her Very Bright Star, a story of resiliency, written by Lori Mier, illustrations by Ethan Ruffler, and of course this one published by Lori Mier in conjunction with New Beginnings publishing firm. So we appreciate that, and yeah, beautifully put book. I cannot wait to share this one. There's lots of things that Lori appreciates, the support that she got in putting this book together, and the RISE organization I know gets a big shout out, and it is a social justice organization that does work out there in Virginia. So yeah, lots and lots to power through in there, but definitely RISE organization, thank you for all the support that you put in and for all the work that you are doing in making sure that the primary mission for RISE organization is to give voice and hope back to the Black community. The organization has been in existence since 2018, and in a short period of time, they've grown to so many outreach programs. One of those programs is our anti-racism book club, and so much more that they're doing, but I just thought I should share that a little bit. Thank you so much for joining in today. Here we go. MERIN and Her Very Bright Star, a story of resiliency. This one is written by Lori Mier, illustrations by Ethan Ruffler. Here we go. And I see we have a message there too. Thank you so much for joining in. If you're here, thank you for letting us know you're here. Thank you for joining in Storytime. Good morning to you, Kathy. Keith, thank you for being here with us on Storytime out there in Ohio. And you say good morning from all of us. Well, good morning to you. Sending you extra love as always. Thank you so much for joining in, Kathy. And of course, Ari and Megan, thank you. On the outskirts of a smallish town, inside a smallish grey house, MERIN is awake in her bedroom, gazing at a very bright star from her window. She is wishful under its silvery glow. On a very serious night 6 years ago, MERIN heard herself talking to the same very bright star as though it held her mom and dad and they could hear her. Why did you leave? Why did you have to leave? Her thoughts and questions were lost in the solar system. Still, her heart discovered that if she continued to speak to the very bright star, she would feel unruffled and unworried before falling asleep. Every day after, MERIN spent nighttime this way. On a very serious night 6 years ago, Merin heard herself talking to that same bright star, very bright star, as if or as though it held her mom and dad, and they could hear her. Every day after, Merin spent nighttime this way. You see, Merin's parents are lost. They left Earth when she was 3 years old. At that age, she did not know how to miss them, and now she does not know how to remember them. Missing them is confusing and can feel like a dark and open space. You see, Merin's parents are lost. They left Earth when she was 3 years old. At that age, she did not know how to miss them, and now she does not know how to remember them. Missing them is confusing and can feel like a dark and open space. It's a longish car ride to the city where she visits a person who helps people heal after they have lost something or someone. Merin mostly listens and sketches in her notebook when she visits. She did trust Mrs. May with her secret, and if word got out elsewhere that she talked to a star each night, she would be laughed at. In every visit with Mrs. May, Merin hears, "It is not your fault." And so she almost believes that all the gloomy and serious things that happen are not her fault. Every day, Merin arms herself with a notebook, a pencil, and an open space on a page. On the very first page is a sketch of Merin's very bright star, where she first imagined her parents were listening to her. Merin also imagines them in daydreams, during those longish car rides, when she reads Explorer magazines, when she sees others huddled under an umbrella. At dinner time, she listens for a voice that might be theirs when the other parents yell, "Come inside." Every day, Merin arms herself with a notebook, a pencil, and an open space on a page. On the very first page is a sketch of Merin's very bright star, where she first imagined her parents were listening to her. Merin also imagines them in daydreams, during those longish car rides, when she reads Explorer magazines, when she sees others huddled under an umbrella. At dinner time, she listens for a voice that might be theirs when the other parents yell, "Come inside." During every celebration, she looks for them. Bright and beautiful things have a way of reminding her to wonder about them. The very first time she saw rainbow sherbet-colored lights dancing in the sky, in the night sky, she wondered. The very first crystalline trees and milky white snow of winter, shiny feathers and glittering stones for skipping, sprightly dandelion spirits, the thinking path in between the birch trees, the watchful blue heron at the edge of the lake, the inviting church bells bonging, the motherly community garden. Yes. Bright and beautiful things have a way of reminding her to wonder about them. Mrs. May calls MERIN's notebook a bright and beautiful shield, a paper-made armor she carries to protect herself. Even so, this armor only works for so long in making the world seem less gloomy or less serious. One afternoon, MERIN went to Mrs. May's smallish group with other kids her age who have also lost someone. Just another serious situation, MERIN thought. As she settled into her seat in the circle, she noticed Leo, the fierce, as he likes to call himself, also in the group. Oh no, someone from my neighborhood is here. Oh no, someone from my neighborhood is here. MERIN pulled out her notebook and began to sketch the planet Venus. She read earlier that week in the Explorer magazine that Venus is the brightest of all the planets in the solar system. Does anyone know what resilient means? Mrs. May asked the group. MERIN kept her head in her notebook and listened. Resilient people find ways to get through difficult losses and also believe that things will get better, said Mrs. May. MERIN's very bright star came to mind. It's better to talk to them than to feel alone, she admitted to herself. But certainly, she would never say that out loud to the group. While she sketched, she thought of Leo. Leo has an open space also. Maybe that's why he is so brave. Maybe he has imagined his lost person in something such as a very bright star. As she headed out, Mrs. May pointed to the sketch and said, Venus is sometimes called the evening star because it is brightest right after the sun goes down, and so it only appears as a very bright star. MERIN's smile met Mrs. May's. Goosebumps rose on her arm. That evening, she scanned the smallish bookshelf in the smallish grey house and put down the astronomy guidebook, grabbed a headlamp, and went to bed early. She compared the night sky in the guidebook with the stars outside her bedroom window. As it turned out, MERIN's very bright star was, in fact, Venus. For all I know, my parents are on another planet, MERIN mumbled. If only all lost people went to Venus. She stared hard at a very bright star and wished that it were true, because if it were true, then all lost people would no longer be lost, hers or Leo's. Tears trailed down her face. She brushed them away, grabbed her notebook, wrote Leo inside, and then tucked it under the pillow. Afterwards, she told her parents the story about how they helped her to be resilient. And here's what became true. All the bright and beautiful things were filling her life as she was brighter. And she was not the only person with an unknown space wanting to be filled. The star taught her that she could turn something lost into something found. And if everyone did this, the world would be brighter. And worried, she fell asleep, as she did for many more nights than not. One evening before her next birthday, MERIN and Leo sat outside the smallish grey house on the outskirts of the smallish town, listening to the echo of wailing loons as the last light in the sky turned to indigo and dim stars and dim stars emerged. MERIN asked Leo if he could keep a secret, her secret, and keep it forever. What do you believe? She told him. And that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for joining in. So much to ponder in this book, so much to think about. And yes, I hope that we can continue to find those safe spaces to heal, safe spaces that allow us to exist as is and allow us to process, right? That time to process in your own way. Not everybody is different. And so we all need different things to process, and we process in different ways. And I hope that your community, the people you have around you, the people you surround yourself with, or that's around you, indeed support you for who you are, and also support every way that you need to find that comfort, to find that healing, to find that space to grow. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime, and I hope that you have those guiding lamps, those guiding posts for you, those very bright stars that belong just to you. MERIN and Her Very Bright Star, a story of resiliency, written by Lori Mier, illustrations by Ethan Ruffler. And just so you know, too, that this is based on the life of Lori Mier, a very touching story, a very powerful story. I hope that you can join in that conversation in our archives with the conversation that we had with Lori Mier right here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Always a pleasure to be here with you and read such amazing books. I'll catch you on the other side of this very short break when we're back for more Storytime.
Hi, friends. I hope you're enjoying today's story on Storytime with Mr. Lamata. I know I am. My name is Angela Dalton, and I'm the author of picture books, including If You Look Up to the Sky, Show the World, and Ruby's Reunion Day Dinner, all of which you can hear Mr. Lamata read right here on Storytime with Mr. Lamata. I hope you continue to enjoy today's story, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, bye.
Angela Dalton, as you know, author of many wonderful books, and all of them, as she mentions, that have been read here on Storytime. So thank you so much for joining in today. And I just wanted to go back to this one page and says, afterwards, she told her parents a story about how they helped her to be resilient. And here is what became true. All the bright and beautiful things were filling her life, and she was brighter. And she was not the only person with an unknown space wanting to be filled. The star taught her that she could turn something lost into something found. And if everyone did this, the world would be brighter. Unworried, she fell asleep as she did for many more nights than not. I just wanted to share that really, and realizing that everybody has that unknown space that needs to be filled. And I hope that your communities and spaces like this, of course, help find that space. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. This has been our story for today. MERIN and Her Very Bright Star, a story of resiliency. I hope you enjoyed it. And please, again, remember, you can always come back to storytimewithmrlamata.com, and you can find this book too, where you find books, and find it at your local library. Library is always the best way to go, right? The first place you can go to. And if it's not there, ask your librarian to get it. Ask your librarian to bring in MERIN and Her Very Bright Star. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. But remember too that we're back again tomorrow with more exciting stories. And tomorrow we're back with this one coming to us from Chelsea Lynn Wallace and Hewen Yum. And you know Hewen Yum has brought so many books here to Storytime. But it's the first time that we're featuring Chelsea Lynn Wallace here on Storytime. And this one will be coming to us from Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Odd to a Bad Day. So do join us for this one. Find out what it's all about, indeed. And great humor, great lessons in here as well, and just a wonderful story all around. So join us, come and have fun with us tomorrow. And yes, we close out the week with this very beautiful book. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Always a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm glad that we're here. Thank you so much. Let us see who was with us enjoying that wonderful story before we go. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you, friends. And Thank you so much to you for joining in. How are you doing? One more time, Kathy, Keith, and of course, we appreciate you as well for joining us. And of course, sending love to Ari and Megan, and of course, Luna. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Whether you're joining in live right now or joining in indeed later on for the recordings, well, thank you for being here. Please leave us a message. Let us know you were here so we can say hi to you as always. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Sarah and Nathan, thank you so much for joining us out there in Crisp, Illinois today. Well, thank you so much for joining in, and I'm glad that you're here with us. Amanda West, thank you for being here with us as well. Thank you indeed to all you adults out there too that join in and of course help facilitate our little ones joining in these story times and in this community, in these powerful conversations that we do have. Thank you so much for being here with us, and I hope to see you again tomorrow when we're back for more story time. Yes, we're not done. There's plenty more books to come to Storytime, including some favorites that we have up here now, brand new favorites. This one from Grant Snyder, Nothing Ever Happens on a Gray Day. Or does it? Well, let's find out. Very soon we'll be reading that one here on Storytime. And another brand new one that I'd like to highlight is this one here, What Do Brothers Do All Day? This one is brand new from Arjun Mans. It will be coming up very shortly. So some books to highlight there, but lots coming your way. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Please join me tomorrow on a Friday. Odd to a Bad Day. Chelsea Lynn Wallace and of course Hewen Yum. These ones will be coming in from Chronicle Books of San Francisco. This has been Storytime today, and I hope that as you're going through your day today, you find that guiding post, you find that guiding lamp, you find that very bright star. Yes, indeed. This one today we're reading A Story of Resiliency, written by Lori Mier, illustrated by Ethan Ruffler. A big thank you to you, Lori Mier, indeed, for allowing us to share so many wonderful books here on Storytime and for always speaking your truth. I love it. I'm inspired by you, and I hope that you continue to inspire many out there too. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Much love from me, and I will see you again tomorrow for more story time. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.